Hello and welcome back here to Prior's Flat. This match between Tynedale and Swalwell. Tynedale have taken up the chase. They've made a good start here. 57 for no wicket. So 213 away from victory here. Dan Parker's facing Smith. He drives high and he's just driven it straight into the hands of deep mid-off. Oh dear. Just as we come on the air here, Tynedale have lost their first wicket at 57, and Parker, who'd played so well up till now, is driven it. He didn't get right through it, and he's driven it straight into the hands of mid-off, just below waist height, and he has to make his way off for a score of 18. So there we go. Parker is the first wicket down here, and it's Smith who's taken the wicket, and the new batsman in for Tynedale will be Jamie Crichton. So Tynedale 57 for 1 in the 19th. And there's some drinks being rushed on here for Tom Cant, the other opening batsman. He's 34 not out. And he survived a big LBW appeal just off the last ball of the last over from Nicky Phillips. The whole Swalwell team went up for that one, but umpire Wilburn at our end here wasn't persuaded by that appeal. But he's at square leg now. Umpire Gardner's at the top end, and it'll be Smith to bowl again, with Corby close up behind the stumps. Crichton is taking the strike. We've got one slip, a gully, a point, a deep cover, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a straightish close mid-wicket, and a deep square leg. So now that deep cover's come up inside the 30-yard circle. Extra cover's coming in just a little bit more. So we've got a close mid-wicket and a close extra cover for this first ball to Crichton here. Smith bowls. It's a faster one down the leg side, and Corby quickly gets across to that one, and he's got his cap tucked in the back of his trousers there, with his hard hat on at the moment, standing close up. So here's Smith again, moves forward now towards us here and bowls, and there's an edge and it's missed. It's gone down just the slightest, faintest fingertips at first slip there. They're coming back for two, other bails off, and Crichton's back and he gets two. Well, it's all go for Crichton's that second ball to Crichton there, and it was a ball pitched just on a length, and it jumped a bit, and Crichton got the edge, a fine edge through, and Corby, it went past Corby, and it went past first slip, just the slightest fingertips, but two added to the total there, which takes it to 59, and now it's down to 211, the gap for victory. And that one's turned down the leg side this time, and they're coming back for two. Yes, a little glance there down to the fine leg from Crichton. So he's on to 4, and the score goes to 62, and the gap comes down to 209 for Tynedale. 9 wickets for Swalwell to take. Smith moves in again. Crichton, swing and a miss. Outside the off stump that time. Got forward to it, and he was a little bit late on the shot there. And Corby took it safely enough behind the stumps there. So Smith again moves in, bowls, and another play and a miss outside the off stump there. In fact, I don't think Crichton actually played that one. He shaped the plate and just held the bat back a little bit there and let it through to the wicketkeeper. So that's the end of the over, the end of the 19th now. So at the end of the 19th over, Tynedale needing 270 to win, or 61 for 1, and they need another 209 to win, although I didn't see the umpire call Bob Gardner there call a dead ball or anything, and the scoreboard's just updated itself now, a little slow to update there, but here's Phillips in now, starting the new over, bowling to Cant. Kant moves back and turns it, and there's a shout for LBW, and he turned that one up to short fine leg where it's fielded, and he comes through for a single, and that takes it to 62, and the gap comes down to 208 now for Tynedale, or 9 wickets for Swalwell. Crichton now moves in to take his guard up at the crease there at the far end. One slip in place. We've got 2 deep on the leg side for the right-handed Crichton across to the house end. A deep mid-wicket and a deep backward square. Phillips winds in. Crichton shapes the play to the leg side, but the ball just glances up there, and it's the wicketkeeper Corby who picks it up off the floor and throws it back to Phillips. So in moves Phillips again, and Crichton all defensively this time, plays into the leg side, and there's no run. 62 for 1. Dan Parker the man out for 18. Phillips moves in and bowls again to Crichton, who hits this one into the offside this time. Just a defensive shot. He came down about a foot there to meet the pitch of that ball, and it was Saxton, I think it was, who moved in from extra cover there to pick that one up. And there's a leading edge, and it's gone off and away up towards the third man boundary. It's Smith in pursuit. They've got 2 so far. Crichton runs up back to that far end, so 2 more to Crichton, which takes the score to 64 for 1 and brings the gap down now to 206. About half a dozen spectators looking closely on from over at the scoreboard as Phillips moves in again, and Crichton plays this one for 1. A late glance just opened the face there up to short third man, and it's Smith who picks it up, and he gets 1 at the end of the over there, Crichton, which takes the gap now down to 205 between Tynedale and victory, because it's 65 for 1 and they're chasing 270 to win. Crichton 7, Kant 35, and the man out was Dan Parker, and he made a well-made 18 actually, and that wicket fell at 57. Now here's Crichton to take the strike again, and he'll face Smith with 1 slip in the keeper for company. Crichton swings and misses down the leg side. A stumping. Corby whipped the bails off there, but half an appeal down to Wilburn the umpire, but Crichton looked to be well in, and I think they realised, the fielders there, that he was in his crease. So umpire Wilburn jogs back to his mark out by the tennis courts at the square leg. Dumming a minute slip there, the captain of Swalwell. Now here's Smith, moves into Crichton, who's forward a little bit and plays it late, and opens the face again and rolls the ball out to Saxton there at short third man. Short wide third man, he's about a yard or 2 inside the 30-yard circle. Phillips at point. Smith to bowl to Crichton again. He drives. It's in the air and it bounces just in front of the fielder there at mid-off, at deep mid-off. And he didn't put the full lash into that one, did Crichton, and it just fell short there of deep mid-off. So he gets 1 off it anyway, which takes the score, the gap down to 204 for Tynedale. It's gone to 66 for 1 now. Changing the field here. Kant under strike. The cover, orthodox cover, has dropped down under the house end boundary to the right here. Smith bowls to Kant, who plays it out to the offside this time, where it's Phillips who runs into field from point. It was a quicker ball, that one, quite full from Smith, on the stumps, and Kant was equal to it. Now he's back in position, the right-handed captain of Tynedale. 35 not out. In moves Smith again and bowls, and Kant goes back to that one and chops it down, and he didn't time it quite right because the ball rolls back down on the bounce to Smith the bowler, and there's no run. Tom Kant been at the crease 14 times this year as Smith bowls, and Kant drives but not far enough, and it's picked up in there with extra cover, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. Tynedale 66 for 1, needing 269 to win, or 204 shy of that target at the moment, and Swalwell it is who need 9 wickets, because the Tynedale 1 wicket down at the moment, and Smith is the one with a wicket, Parker. But Tom Cant, he's 14 times at the crease, an average of 35, with a 1 not out, 452 runs. Now it's Crichton who's going to take the first ball from Phillips, and he pushes for 1. That's a good run there to Smith at point, to the left there. He just came forward to a good length ball, smothered it down, and asked Cant if he wanted it, and he did, so it takes it to 67. The target now comes down to 203, and here's Phillips again to Cant, who turns the leg, and they're not going to have that one to backward square leg. Cant just sent back by Crichton there, and in truth he didn't come very far, but he looked as if he did set off for it, but everything's safe enough in the end. Now here's Phillips again, moves in away from us here, bowls. Cant's down and drives high, and that may be going out for 4, I think. It'll not quite reach the boundary. Yes, a lofted drive, over wide long off across to our left. And 4 more to Cant, he goes to 39, the score goes to 71. And now the target has come down below 200, it's 199, the difference between the two sides now. Well, it's 198 and Tynedale need 199 to win. Phillips moves into Cant again. Drives a full ball this time, but doesn't time it quite right, and it rolls quickly out to Sinclair there at deep mid-off. And Crichton at the other end, he's been at the crease 12 times, average of 26 with 1 not out from 290 runs. But it's Cant facing now from Phillips, and he just pushes that one back along the ground, and Phillips picks it up and walks slowly back, polishes the ball fiercely on his left thigh there. 1 ball left in the over, 6th ball here. Moves forward again and bowls, and Cant tries to whip it away, but it's going to be stopped there in at close mid-wicket by Hewison, and that is the end of the over. No run off the last ball, and Tynedale 71 for 1 after 21, and Cant 39, Crichton 9, and the gap now, what Tynedale, the runs Tynedale needs stand at 199. And the Swalwell fielders all have a chat in there. Paul Dummingham, the captain, just having a word with Phillips, his spin bowler, who's just finished his over. But it's going to be Stephen Smith now in the sunshine here to take up the attack. And if you're listening in here on Cricket West Tyne, this is our 6 o'clock broadcast. You're more than welcome to listen as well here on the Experts in Business and the Royal Oak Hotel sponsored cricket broadcasts this afternoon. Smith bowls to Crichton, and Crichton's forward in defence and pushes it back up to the bowler, and there's no run. He picks it up and is quickly back to his mark with his jumper. Still got his jumper on. It's tucked slightly up his back at the minute. He just pulls it down a bit as he moves in the bowl again. Crichton this time strikes it back down the pitch, and just about 4 feet to the leg side of the non-striker stumps up there at the top end, and it rolls up to Anderson there at deep mid-on, and there's no run. Smith again has it now. He moves in, bowls, and there's Crichton, who just plays it late again. Almost 90 degrees with him there when he played that ball, and he just pushes it out to Phillips there at point, and he picks it up, and there's no run again. Still 71 for 1 here, Tynedale. Smith moves in now and bowls. High drive to the leg side this time, and it's 4 runs to Crichton. And umpire Gardner signals high with his hand there for 4 up to the scorers. 1 bounce to the boundary, that one from Crichton. So the score moves to 75 for 1. Crichton moves to 13. And the gap for victory now comes down to 195. Yes, Smith again moves in. Strikes a full ball this time, drive to the off this time from Crichton, and it's fielded there on the second bounce at extra cover, and there's no run. Ball's up there back with Smith. The weather's good at the minute, sun's out, just a few shadows on the field, on a potted field. It's got some fresh green on it, but fresh grass on it, but it's still potted in places. Strikes high, drives high, just Crichton to the offside, and one bounce to the deep cover fielder in front of the house end there, across to the right. And that's the end of the over. He gets one off the last ball there, which moves the score to 76 for 1 Tynedale. Still 194 needed here, or 9 wickets for Swalwell. And at the change of overs here, we'll listen in for one of the club sponsors. It's MKM Building Supplies.
Tyne Cricket Club is sponsored in 2018 by MKM Building Supplies and Cars Billington, agricultural merchants, both local companies in Hexham.
And welcome back here to Prior's Flat. Matthew Erskine speaking to you here, and it's Nicky Phillips to take up the attack from our end. He goes in away from us here and bowls, and that's down the leg side, and there's an ooh and an ah there from Corby behind the stumps, because Crichton tried to play that one, but it went past his legs, and Corby took it well behind there down the leg side. Phillips again now. Offside hit from Crichton this time, just a little dink, and they get one. Good running there from the Tynedale batsman. Kant was at full pace as he went up to that end. And so one more to the total takes it to 77. We're down to 193 needed now, as Phillips turns at the end of his run. On the way again. Kant, this time he plays an offside shot. A little straighter that time, and Phillips is just able to move to his left to collect that one. And there's no run. Came down to meet it there. Good length ball there from Phillips, and Kant met it and smothered it down. Kept it on the floor. But on the way again is Phillips. Here he is to Kant. Full, and he tries to turn this one to the leg. But it just goes out, comes out along the ground there to Hewison, who's in there at close mid-wicket. So, we've got, is it Saxton in there quite close at extra cover as well. Phillips in on the way again, and there's Kant, who just watches this one from the pitch and plays it from the crease out to the leg side, and it's picked up by Hewison, going round to his right. There wasn't enough time for a run though. Still 77 for 1, Kant 39 not out on strike. Crichton at the other end, 15. Phillips moves in, and it's full and driven by Kant, and he'll get one up too long off here. Comes down to this end, our end here, as we broadcast from down behind long on in the clubhouse. So one more to the total takes the gap down to 192. It's 78 for 1 now, Tynedale, and that was the end of the over as well. The end of the 24th was that. Yes. And it's 78 for 1, Tynedale, Kant 40 and Crichton 15. So getting through the overs quite quickly here. We have bright sunshine now, still that persistent breeze coming across from our left. The trees behind the clubhouse there, the scoreboard there, moving quite substantially up at the top. But it's going to be, is this going to be Smith again to bowl? Yes, it is. It's there's going to be one slip in place for Kant. A few of the Tynedale supporters are way over to the tennis courts there, just watching on. So we've got a slip and a backward point, an orthodox point, as in comes Smith, and a full ball to Kant there, and he drives it back straight, and Smith picks it up, and it remains 78 for 1. The pizza van in full swing in the ground here at Prior's Flat, so if you're in Hexham at the minute and you're listening, do come down. And there comes Smith again, and there's Kant, who just plays this one. Opens the face there and runs it quickly out towards the third man area, but it's fielded nicely there by Saxton. Just a little dive to his left and picks that one up. And it's back to Smith again. No run off that last ball. On the way again, Smith. Swing and a pull shot there from Kant to the leg, but it's going up there towards the tennis courts. There's a fieldsman there now, picks it up and throws it in to Corby, the wicket keeper, at this end. and he takes a single leg cant, which takes the gap now down to 191. The score goes to 79 for 1 Tynedale in the 25th here. And they started off needing a run rate of 5.4 and over. Did Tynedale, but the change in the field there just pushes mid-off, brings him in a bit for Crichton, the new batsman, and he's played that one late up towards third man again, but not wide of the fielder there. And he dives again to his left and picks it up, and he saves a run. So we're coming up to the halfway stage here, and we'll go to the end of the over, and it'll be Smith now who bowls, and he drives this one, and I think we're going to have a drinks break in a minute. 25 overs, I think we are. Here's Smith again to move in, and it's Crichton who drives this one high, and it's going towards the deep cover boundary, and it's fielded there, and that's the end of the over. It's the end of the over, and it's 80 for 1 wicket, and I think we're going to have a drinks break, so we'll leave you there at the moment with Tynedale 80 for 1, still with 190 still to get, and the drinks are just on the way. So I'll leave you there until 7 o'clock, or we'll come back on just before, and it is the players have just all stopped out there now, so we've got 80 for 1 Tynedale in reply here to this 270, and the players all waiting for the drinks to come out. They're on the way somewhere, they're on the way at the minute. But at the moment, I'll just leave you to talk amongst yourselves, because there's nothing happening. We'll be back at 7 o'clock to see how Tynedale are doing in this chase. But I'll leave you with them 80 for 1 in the after 25, with still 190 to get, or 9 wickets for Swalwell to take.